we open it up to be able to have
Well, I mean, you
membership, a little bit more diverse membership, I guess, or
well, you have
flexible.
for TTC, you have a selective group based on state statute. So we have to abide by that. What I'm worried about is that we have, because of the way people's schedules are, we have so many people we're trying to fill for 10 positions when we just need 5 to pass for budget, for the tourism budget. So should we not do TAC, combine that into the TTC?
Yes.
And just do 5 members? It would be the information you're all getting, but it would just be those 5 people that would be in charge. Now, you can be ad hoc, you'll be ad hoc. I mean, we can still have you invited to the meetings and participate, but it doesn't mean, it
And I
means we're
think
not
that's
trying
what
to
was
keep.
the fight before, was that there wasn't a lot of input then when you have it at that 5 member. I remember Jack Dunsey and when he was on, and I can't remember who some of the other members were, and they just felt like that they didn't feel like they had enough authority with the TTC versus the TAC to so, and I kind of cut you off, so I apologize, but do you think that would work, I guess?
So I need to be able to pass budgets and pass, if we're going to do a project, or we're going to do the stuff that we need to do to help market. I need TTC members. I don't need TAC. But it's nice to have that input. And I think our tourism director can get that from the public by being out and about. It doesn't have to be at a scheduled meeting. So for me, I want TTC to be functional. That's important. And we don't have to meet every month. We did that because we were just getting into new tourism directors. Everybody felt it was important to meet monthly to go over things. But I think at some point it's going to become redundant that we're not making that many changes. Now, we have important stuff coming up because of the marketing plan. But after you get the marketing plan adopted, things can kind of flow on their own based on the way the plan is set up. And you won't have to make as big a decision. You won't have to be here all the time. So I think that would help to get people here. Does making a monthly meeting help people to remember it? Obviously not. And because there's so many conflicts that erupt. And we've had that issue. And we've had people that were appointed that have not even showed up. So
you went knocking on doors of merchants and stuff in St. Genevieve, and would you join the group and no response, or I don't want to be part of it, or I'd like to? I mean, we've gone out and asked people to join as to be on the board, or do they just raise their hand like I did and say, could I join? I mean, how are we going to go about getting people to be here and active in this tourism commission? I mean, is there something we could do differently?
yeah, that's a good question. We usually do it based on recommendations.
Okay.
People have recommended somebody because they see that they'll be able to participate or have some education, or they have some interest in it.
Right.
We don't want to just get anybody and everybody.
No, but if you're a merchant or something in town, I would think if you want tourists to come into your business, that you would be interested in some input. I'm not everybody, of course, but I would think there'd be a lot more people out there that might be interested in joining than whatever way we're doing. I know I raised my hand to ask if I could join. But
Jim, are you asking for TTC or TAC?
TTC.
Yeah.
Who's the 5 that we have on there now?
So we have one vacancy. It's Nicole, Gary Smith, Whitney, and Jim.
And a vacancy, yes.
So I guess my question would be, on the TTC side, we have to follow the statute. That's why it's limited to who can be on that group.
But okay, but the
Nicole
statutes on that
represents-
would be merchants, all right?
Well, Nicole represents which group?
Nicole is
Merchant?
business interest.
Business interest?
Businesses,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Gary is,
Business interest
oh, because it was, okay.
for the shop.
Yeah. Whitney, is there sites?
Yeah, tourism.
Restaurant or hotel? Or both?
Hotel.
Okay. And the vacant one,
Bigger one is a tourism interest on that. But we requested that they be a restaurant or have some sort of restaurant affiliation. So
and they can't be an employee, they have to be an owner?
no, they can be an employee.
Oh, they can, okay.
Does it have to be so many hotels, so many restaurants, so many businesses that sit on the board?
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
it can't be like 5 hotels or 5 businesses.
No,
It's
no.
limited.
It's one hotel, one active, yeah, tourism industry, the restaurant one is the active in tourism industry. So there's 2 active in tourism industry and 2 active in local general business. So it can be anybody in the county with a business that is interested in that, because we've expanded. See, we've even expanded our borders on this to take in all county residents. But they have to be a resident of the county and meet one of those criteria. I mean, they're pretty open. They're not really.
Why doesn't Laura fit that last one for the 5th?
Well, we were just talking about that.
Oh.
We're thinking about asking her if she would like to do that. But, okay, so then it takes away from TAC. So then you're trying to fill a different group that has chamber, county, and she can still represent the county. What else? Other interests that are in the city.
So is this requirements from the city or from the state?
So TAC is the city. The requirements that I gave you were from the state.
From the state, okay.
So for TTC is the
That's
state.
That's what we're looking for.
We have to approve that matching grant that we get. We have to have that 5 members by state statute to fill that TTC.
Which
But
currently
TAC is an advisory committee, and so that was just a set of bylaws that the city put together to influence tourism marketing inside the city and now even.
Advice, not
Yes, advise, yeah. It's Tourism Advisory Council. Yeah.
Which is me, Joe, Laura, and Jason Stafford.
Donna Roush was also part of that over the years. Yeah, Jason was part of it.
Donna, though,
Donna resigned with the previous tourism director. However, I called her and asked her if she wanted to stay on, because I didn't realize that she had called and resigned.
So
So-
really the only 3 active are me, Laura, and Joe.
Yeah.
For
So
TAC.
why are we talking about the TAC then? Like, why don't we just merge them?
We can. We still
I
have,
mean-
we still have bylaws, so you have to technically dissolve it.
Dissolve? I
Yeah.
mean, to me, if we're the only 3 TAC members, I don't understand. I don't know why we wouldn't just merge it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm fine with being an ad hoc. I mean, that's what I currently am anyways. You know, or an advisory capacity. I mean, I still come for chamber, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I'm invited, but,
And we can offer the same thing to the county. County government can have
Yeah.
somebody at the table.
I-
But just make it those groups instead of, and you could appoint somebody, or if somebody wants to volunteer for the chamber to do it.
I mean, I go through the same things you guys go through with
Yeah.
volunteers. I get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, to streamline it and to make it worth everyone's time and so we have a quorum, TTC needs to have a quorum.
Right.
Like tonight, you guys don't have a quorum, right?
We haven't for a while, right?
Right. So
We've had-
we're not doing it.
Where
We're
was
not getting
Jeff
anything
sitting?
done.
Jeff was sitting as just the chair for the TAC.
He was the museum.
Yeah.
No, Jeff was chair for TTC, and he was on the TTC.
Yeah, he was the TTC.
Yeah, I took his spot.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah. He got real busy.
Does that have to go to the city council? I'm sorry, does that have to go to the city council?
Have to check.
be dissolved, approved?
I'll have to see the bylaws and see how that works, but I'm gonna say, I don't think so, but
Okay.
don't hold me to it. But what you do is you could dissolve, make a recommendation, and the board can decide what they want to do.
Have we picked the brains of other tourism commissions? And just to see how they are structured and if there's any chance. The reason why I bring this up is I just got this tourism commission gets more state cash for ads out of Jefferson County. They've only been active for 3 years. We've been active for 100 years, or a million years. I'm just saying is that when you look at the way they're structured and the monies that they get, and I'm not comparing us to Jefferson County, which is a lot larger area, but they have 52 members of the Tourism Commission. The businesses pay dues, and it just talks about how they seem like they have this ball rolling, and we seem like we're stalled. And I don't know if there's things that have maybe changed since we looked at the guidelines from the state. I mean, are those up-to-date guidelines?
Okay.
They are,
Yeah,
okay.
those are our current state
Jim,
statutes.
is that what you're talking about? Is that a different structure, or is it a TTC structure, or what's
to me,
the
it's-
name of their group?
Well, they just formed a DMO 3 years ago out of Jefferson County.
So they're the DMO.
They're the DMO. So I've made copies of, just to let you look at it. I'm not saying that we have to mirror anything. I'm just saying is that it just, I just found it interesting. I just got the paper, and it just talks about how they're moving forward. They're also bringing in businesses like, say, the Audubons or the Show Me Shop. You'd be a member of the commission, and you would pay, I'm not saying it has to, again, mirror, they're $250 a year for a business to be part of the tourism commission. And they have 52 active members.
I find it interesting if they pay a membership fee, though.
Yeah, I do too.
That does.
That's gonna be a different structure.
That has to be different,
Yeah.
because we can't do that.
I don't know, I don't know that, I mean, they've classified, if you look at it, Tourism Commission, which has 52 members. Now, maybe it's a different structure, like you said, but I just think it was interesting that 3 years ago they formed, and where they're at now, they've leaps and bounds. And again, it's a lot larger area than we are, and we're not comparing the two, but I just wonder if there's another way to structure our operation.
Well, you have to figure that, I think you have more maybe competing interests inside St. Genevieve, because you have a lot of groups that take care of the homes, that take care of different facilities. So you're a smaller community,
Sure,
and you're
sure.
working with these other groups, but they're also trying to pull in their volunteers as we're trying to do. I think Jefferson County, which will be classified differently than St. Genevieve County
Absolutely.
because of size.
Right.
You know, like, maybe new, maybe shining, and you'll get a lot of people to join. You know, this group's been going since the 90s.
I know, I was part of the original group that started
Okay.
back in the day, so I remember that.
Yeah.
But I know, it just seems like we had the same issues then about getting people to show up at meetings, and I don't know.
Yeah. And I felt we had some dysfunction the last few years too, and COVID didn't help.
No. But they started theirs 3 years ago during COVID.
Yeah.
And-
Well, they were getting set up. I mean, they've grown to what they have now.
Sure.
So they
This
put
is
it
They
on
have a
the
ton more
start.
businesses too.
Probably the start of their third year,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
But if you go to another city that has a TTC, they're going to be set up with 5 people, and it's going to be, you know, by state statute. And there are other cities that are looking to do the same thing. I think they're doing more of a convention and visitors bureau type of setup.
Could be.
Which is what I would love to eventually turn it into,
Mm-hmm.
and have that kind of input, have that kind of, those kind of funds coming in from the county and the city, and creating that type of organization to promote the city.
I mean, you can even see the amount of money the county has given the Tourism Commission, $120,000
Yeah.
in Jefferson County.
Yeah.
So, I know they're all pulling together. I think tourism has a huge importance here in St. Genevieve with all of our businesses and things like that. But you know, we seem to stay at that $25,000 grant, and to spend the $50,000. Here they're at $100,000. Again, they've just started, and we're still at the same area we were at back whenever we started back in 20 years ago.
And I'm just, it's tough, I think, because we are pulling on that downtown group a lot when we pull from, I mean, if you look maybe besides Laura on there and some of the other, I mean, for the most part, we're pulling from it. And there's already a downtown merchants group, and there's some other, the Foundation for Restoration. There's probably several other, I'm not thinking off the top of my head, but the chamber, and so you've got a limited pool of volunteers
Sure.
to fill the spots, and we haven't had a big budget. So I think sometimes people get frustrated because we're fighting over, should we print 1,500 handouts or 2,000, and so I mean, in some ways it gets trivial because you're fighting over, how this should look or that. And I think sometimes people have gotten frustrated with this group because we were micromanaging the tourism director and trying to, make, chicken salad out of chicken poop, and it's been tough to do. So
But we used to get together, Joe, back in the day with other cities, Jeff City, Cape, you name it. They would all get together and just kind of like do some brainstorming on how they, we'd ask questions, how did you do this? Or they'd ask questions, well, how have you been successful in this here? I don't know if we've ever done that, or not ever done it, but have done it in the last several years.
So
Because other ones have good ideas, and so do we, but is there a place that you can gel your thoughts and maybe say, hey, this sounds pretty interesting. How did you do that? How did you get that $250 out of a merchant to join the commission?
So we have the Governor's Conference on Tourism. That'll be coming up in September. So we've been to it off and on over the years. So yeah, we share ideas, get ideas
Right.
there. So there is there is an avenue to pursue that.
Okay.
So we'll continue to do that stuff. But like last year, it ended up being when I was the person that would have gone, I had something else to go do. So there wasn't anybody else that could attend for us. So yeah, there's been those restrictions as well.
Right. Sorry, I was just going to say, right now we're getting a grant from Missouri Humanities, and to one of the contingencies to accept that grant is I have to go to a number of conventions throughout the year put on by Missouri Humanities, and that's where I'll be able to kind of talk with other people from other cities and see what works for them and compare sizes of the towns and how they're maximizing their resources and using them as ways to brainstorm that sort of thing. So yeah, so I think it's also seeking grants and going out and using those grant avenues, getting grants and the little cohorts that get these grants, talking with them and kind of sharing ideas as well. So
Well, now that you're on board, I mean, this would definitely be a plus for us to move forward. So,
well, and I'm stuck. I brought all my stuff up. We're in the house, so yeah, I'll be here for a while. So. I think that's where it starts, huh? It was like getting some stability in the position, and then we'll go from there.
Well, Aaron, I mean, what are your thoughts about the TAC? I mean, would you like to have a monthly or quarterly meeting with the larger group besides the smaller TTC group of just 5? Would you like to hear from that advisory council, and have that input on a more of a formal basis, monthly or bi-monthly or along those lines? I hate to, until we kind of flesh out more what we're going to be doing, especially with the marketing plan. I don't want to jump into anything too rash and nix committees and until we get a little further down the road. Do you think that's?
Well, I mean, honestly, Joe, it's me, you, and Laura. We're the only 3 that are here, so we're here anyways. So why do we have to have a title? I don't need a title. I don't need to be. You know what I mean? I don't need one less committee.
Well, I'd like to have more input.
I know, but if we could get it, great. But I mean, we've been trying for. I don't know how long you've been in this position, but I feel like you've been the tourism director longer than anybody. So.
And part of that is that I just wasn't familiar with people to begin with, so it was hard asking to try to get people on. Well, then we've just kind of gone through, and we've had some recommendations. We put them on here. They've lasted 6 months, and then they were done.
I mean, I can just tell you, like, the Downtown St. John organization just elected new board members. That was hard. It was really a struggle to, get business owners to commit. And it's not because they don't want to. It's just that they don't have the time. They're more focused on putting that energy into their business, and I get it. But without their input, it's hard for us to have an active organization. So.
And that's the name of the game, right? We need to be able to make decisions from the TTC side of things and approve budgets and things like that. Would I love to have the input? Yes, but I'm like Happy said, I'm more present in the community. So going around and talking to people one-on-one, you even get more candid responses that way than you would in a group setting. So I just got to keep doing that and once it's nicer outside, when it's not 12 degrees, even though I was out there walking around today too.
Hey, it reached a great big 14 today.
Yeah, right, no, we're trending up, so that's
And
good.
I also feel like those people who are wanting to have their voice heard, they will. You know what I mean? They'll come to the meetings, or they'll come to Aaron, or to Happy, or to one of us, and they'll voice their concern with whatever. But
Yeah.
I just think it looks bad on us if we have a group of people that never show up, and it's televised, and our table is half empty, and then we're sitting here making small talk because I don't want to waste my time for the next couple minutes, so we can't even do any business tonight. So how does that make us look? I'd rather have one group with a full board and make some decisions than to have two groups and no quorum and no decisions.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
So the one thing I can do is show you what our updated webpage looks like, the front page. So Jim Rudney has been working on this with his crew. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but this is what we got. So this will lead into whether we want to continue to, it's on and there's a red light.
That's resetting it there. Weird.
So this is the new setup. So we've shrunk the top bar, to open the picture up a little bit more, done away with the square that was around this area. Kind of put everything down into this lower section instead of having the square, and then as a framed.
National Geographic.
Yes, exactly. So we still have this notification on the fairing, so if somebody goes to the website, they'll see what's going on. We've moved this from down low up here. This will link to our, there's no links to this yet that work. This will link to our history page. And then we get into some new stuff. So this is going to be more of the stories and experiences that you have in St. Genevieve. So this is something that they've just kind of pulled off of the internet to kind of show what it would look like. So this would be something, if we produced it or if we got it, we would put this up on top. So if you want to get a little tour of the city, a little advertising, this would be what you would go to. This might actually work.
On this episode of Missouri Life, we're in St. Genevieve, where we examine posts in the earth, see how water can reflect light. Watch a couple making their.
So this is a way to attract people. This makes it more interesting. We still have these 4 items. When they've got Stay Play Getaway on the main page, we've switched it to these words up here. These can be anything that you want, but they would still match these listings up on top, so they take you to those pages. Then we have this as a banner for whatever festival is coming up. We were doing Pecanapalooza at the time they put this together. And then you've got the individual stories that you can then look at. So I think these are both from 573 magazine. Then we get into our calendar. We're trying to make this a little more consistent. I don't have the ability, but what we try to do is if we can get all the pictures to be the same size, so it would be the banner kind of size, then this would look a little more consistent. But that's our events, and that's how it would display. We got rid of the location map because it was junk and it wasn't working right anyway. And then you get into the information at the bottom. So then you got Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So we can kind of stay with the same color scheme, but changed the content mostly to be more social, to be more interesting, or to create interest in the city. You still have the same pictures that are up front on this. We can change that, but again, these are the hero pictures.
What is the hero pictures?
Hero pictures, because it's the main thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
you call them hero, that's what I prefer to call them. This is not going live yet until you all say, this looks pretty good, let's keep moving forward with it. I don't know if we want to go with this yet, separate of the rest of the website.
Can you send a link to us so we can dive into it a little bit in
Sure.
more detail before?
No, I can't, because it is, you have to sign in to be able to get to it.
Admin, this sort of thing.
Yeah.
How do we kind of proof it?
Did you
What do you,
screen
what
it?
do you work on that?
What kind of commitment from us, or what kind of ask you're?
Are you thinking this is where you want to go? Do you like the way, do you
I
like
like
this?
it a lot better than it was.
Okay, then that's
Yeah,
kind of where I'm
that's good.
going with it. Yeah.
Who's gonna maintain it?
Still gonna be the city,
City.
and Jay Rudney. So we work with Rudney as our consultant on that.
Okay.
So they keep up to date on all the updates, all the, any critical issues that come up. So, but they have the talent to be able to put this stuff together.
It's WordPress though, right? So you can go in and change, make,
Yeah.
add stuff.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. That's good.
It's just taking pieces of what worked, what they thought worked, and what they've used on other websites that have been pretty effective. But I wanted you to see this before we say, let's move on a little bit. And I'll figure out a way to see if I can get you into where you can see that. I just don't.
Just like a general admin sort of ask.
It may be like an editor profile or something along those lines. You can't make any changes, but you can at least get in and look at it. But, yeah, first time I saw it, it's like, yeah, that's a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not bad what it was. So, okay. So I just wanted you to see. We didn't really have any past events to talk about. Future events are the Chocolate Walk, the King's Ball. The Gravel Classic is scheduled for April 27th, so that's been set up. It's going to be at Audubon's parking lot again. We're going to see about blocking Main Street. If we do, we'll take in 2 blocks and not 1, because the folks on between Jefferson and Washington wanted to be included. So we'll see when we get to that point. Gina Otto is working with, as part of TrailNet. She's the one that's coordinating it. She has not sent me that information yet, but I think we had a meeting coming up.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah. That I will not be able to attend. But anyway,
So they've already requested what areas they want blocked off as far as the street goes?
if they go with the same spots they did last year, that was Main Street between Market and Merchant, and we'll go Merchant to Washington.
Okay.
So we'll see. Then McDaniels thinks that they'll have a preliminary plan by early February. So the February meeting, we should have a plan together, or at least something for you to review. And if we can get it early in February, send it to you, so you'll have time to review it, and then we can have a meeting and go over it and discuss.
Yeah, that'd be great. That's fast. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're moving fast on that, so that's nice. I added a couple of notes to that. One was talking about the Missouri Humanities Grant that we're getting. It was earmarked for the French Heritage Festival, so that's what we're going to use it on, which is quite cool. They reached out to us and was like, hey, we have this earmarked for your festival. It's $10,000 to create a promotional video and to bolster whatever sort of activities they want to add to the French Heritage Festival. And then Visit Missouri is given $10,000 in kind for advertisement, and they're going to do all the advertisement. But we're in charge of making that promotional video.
So that'll be prior to the event. We're going to promote the video.
The promotional video has to be done 60 days. Has to be done 60 days before the event takes place.
Is that in June, the French Festival?
Yeah. Yeah, so I have somebody
That's that
that I
second
want to bring
weekend,
in
is
for that.
Side by side ride that Chipmunk's you go.
Yeah, let's bring it down.
Yes.
Let's bring it down.
So that we are approved to create that promo video,
Mhm.
and we have up to 10,000 spent on the video production, or that's also?
It's mixed in 10,000, including what we want to use for, like, you know, getting different acts to the festival, humanities activities as well.
Okay.
So, and I was going to use a portion of that,
And they're spending additional funds to market the event for us on top of that?
$10,000, yeah, and that's done through Visit Missouri. So it's Missouri Humanities, Visit Missouri, and the Council of the Arts, Missouri Council for the Arts, that are all partnering for this. And actually, I was just, I think the Council of the Arts reached out and are giving us an additional $5,000 for that, but I haven't talked to the representative for that, so,
So maybe up to like 25 grand then spent on towards this event?
yeah.
It's not been it's been a good solid event for the last, I don't know, 15 years. I don't know how many years they've been doing it, but it hasn't been as big as some of the other events. So
Sure.
spending this kind of money towards promotions and marketing and advertising would be,
Be good.
oof, yeah.
Should not boost it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we, I don't know if we have.
Yeah, it's been hard to kind of wrangle everything together for this, to be honest, because I
Yeah.
think everybody's like, $25,000, what are we going to do with this?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like either, I feel like either accept it,
Oh, no,
or
I
they're
mean, that-
just never going to come
Yeah.
back around and go, oh, well, they
I've always
turned
felt
it
it's
down.
been kind of neglected, you know, it's
Mm.
kind of, we have the French Festival and we don't, you know, so I'm excited.
Yeah. So there's that, and then, you know, you may know that my department's been given the budget for an assistant to the tourism director. So we advertised that in the St. John Herald, but applications are still being accepted. Know
Have
anybody?
you gotten some?
I've not seen it.
Yeah.
Not yet?
No, right, I haven't gotten any, so.
How long has it been out?
A few weeks. Second week, probably. Okay. Man, I feel like I was backing up my house for 3 months or something like that.
Is that something that we can help share, like on our social media platforms or
That
our
would be,
networks?
that would be excellent, yeah. Yeah, looking for someone, I mean, the duties are basically, you know, to help me go to events and capture content and market that content, keep our social media pages kind of up to date, or help me keep them up to date. It's like 16 to 24 hours a week, so it's a part-time position, and it pays between $18 and $20.
Do you have that in written format?
Yeah.
I got that, yeah, I can send that, I can share that with you.
Okay.
Send that out to the group,
Yeah, I think so. GTC.
Email blast, yeah.
I'm sorry, Joe, I'm pushing hard.
I understand.
Yeah, other than that, I think, happy with everything else. Excited to see what McDaniel's has for us in early February. I'm glad that's going really quickly.
Do you think they got a lot of input from the survey that they requested?
I asked about that because they sent us an email and they were like, okay, the first step is them compiling that information and then kind of giving us a summary of what people in the town think. And I said, well, did you get enough? And he's like, oh yeah, we got a ton of response. So,
It was a very good survey.
yeah,
They did a
it
great
was, huh?
job.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Definitely in
I mean,
depth.
I bookmarked it just so I could devote some time to it.
Sure.
And I'm really glad that I did, because I did put quite a bit of content in there, but their questions were spot on, and they did a really good job forming that survey, so.
Yeah, I'm really
I was hoping
encouraged.
they got some good stuff.
I'm just really encouraged with how they're thinking
Yeah.
about approaching the town. I think it is spot on. And what they kind of have been wanting to work with us for a while now, so, and it's for good reason. They really feel like they can help, and I think they will, so.
Good.
Any questions?
Yeah.
You've got down, next one's February 20th at the Firehouse. I thought we might be in the new City Hall on the 19th.
We're gonna be in there, but I don't think we'll be ready.
Okay.
So,
Pushing much?
I'm just asking, I mean.
I know there's somebody who wants to do some sort of ribbon cutting and,
okay.
oh.
Not me.
Wonder who that could be.
Not me.
First one of the year, man, why not?
So I figure the board should be the first, since they're the ones that approve the budget, they're the first ones that get to utilize the facility. And then you can trash it the next week.
I didn't approve it, and I didn't have anything to do that.
And that's if we can get a quorum. If not, then it's not gonna be.
You're gonna look into that though, right?
Yep. Yep. Make some calls.
Well, and as I go around and talk to people, I will let them know. You know, because it would be great if we did have a TAC as well, but, you know, gotta be able to staff the TTC first. So make sure I gauge interest from everybody I talk with.
We are advertising at this point, just to let you know. We are doing Facebook type advertising, and we're doing that through Alpha Media, which is J98. So it's not the radio station, but it's the digital format. And then we're doing, with Odyssey out of St. Louis, we're doing television, and that's streaming TV. And we have certain zip codes up in the West St. Louis County, St. Charles area that we're pinpointing for those ads. So we are getting some advertising out there, trying to do what we can. And this is with the matching grant funds.
And just through some of our budget, I'm working with St. Louis Magazine. They're going to put a quarter-page advertisement in their big spring issue, their spring travel issue. So I kind of had one that's targeted towards people signing up for the St. John Gravel Classic, just because I feel like that'll be interesting if we can target a sort of different group and see what happens. You know, it seems like it'll be an easy group to notice. You know, like, oh, okay, this will be a demographic that you can know is, you know, it was targeted, and it'll be walking around the town and a pretty noticeable crowd. So I figured that maybe sinking some money into that idea. So.
And that was some of what we had planned. Putting some in magazines, some in newspapers. So we still have 6 months of MMG money to spend, and then we'll get into the new budget year for the state, and we'll have to come up with some new ideas. That's what the marketing plan will help us with. And that's the one thing they're focusing on, is what the state will allow, what they won't allow, so that that'll be part of the marketing plan. So we can budget that and put that in our regular budget for the city to do the matching funds. So that'll help. Will help a lot with our budgeting.
Do you think that we could get a little bit more marketing material for the Gravel Classic than we did last year? Because last year, I know we didn't get hardly anything for that event until like the week of the event. So I think
from TrailNet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know that was an
Okay,
issue.
yeah.
We need to stay on them because that was terrible last year.
That seems to be the tailor of the tape for a lot of things. It's like week of here's all the marketing material. It's like,
Yeah.
guys, we could have used this a month, 2 months ago, you know, and then we could have really been pushing it. So yeah, I'll make sure we.
'Cause
They
I know
have calls
yeah.
that they set up, so I know you're on the call.
Yeah.
You make sure, I guess, that we tell them what we expect.
Yeah, kind of push them a little bit.
Push them, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I think
we
that
get
would-
phone calls and we had no information to hand out for that at all, and it was not good.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of it was online, so they didn't have a lot of printed materials. We came up with some printed materials, but they didn't like those.
yeah.
So then we were kind of,
Oh, right, we
Yeah.
need something, yeah.
Yeah, we have to have something, but
Yeah.
even the link that one of the links I think that they sent out, it worked up until like 2 weeks before the event, and then it was a dead link.
Mhm.
It didn't go anywhere, and I'm like,
oops.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you're right, it was still very limited.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Make sure we bring that up.
Yeah.
Put Gene on that group.
Sounds good, yeah, I was just emailing with her today, so
Okay.
keep that fresh.
This is a draft.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm looking over it now. On the first page, amount being requested, it's blank. Maybe add the 250, 500, 1,000.
We said that, and then we kind of said, well, we wanted to leave it where they can, if they wanted to put in something else, we wanted to leave
Or
specific
maybe put
amounts.
a blank space, maybe put 3 in the 4 spot blank,
Yeah,
or
okay.
less or more, if they're really ambitious, or not so ambitious.
Okay.
I thought we said that it was a minimum of 60 days prior.
Well, I fought for 30, and if they bring it 30 and we can't approve it, then they're out of luck. You know, if they've only bring it 30 days, they're out of luck. And should they bring it 60 or 90 beforehand? Yes. But if they want to risk it and only bring it to us 30 days prior, they might not get it.
I don't remember that, but,
I think you were sitting over that chair that
oh,
night.
I did. I couldn't find you.
It was lower.
Oh, it was.
Yes, I think the cover sheet pretty much tells you about what the matching fund is for, what you can do with it, and then this application is pretty, it's not overly burdensome. It's based on what the band grant is, and people don't seem to be overly burdened by that. It's filling out pretty well.
On the disclaimer, it does number 3, it shows, number 3.
Oh, yeah, sure does, okay.
Which was what?
Do you, well, I think I left that in there, forgot to change it. Do you want the PTC to be mentioned as a sponsor?
Well, it says in number 2, it says, will be recognized as a contribution.
Right.
I mean,
So
it says St. Genevieve Tourism, and so I don't know if you, tax commission, I guess that'd be, I think that, I don't, does anybody care?
No, I mean, nobody out there cares, but do you care? If they're utilizing your funds, do you want to be recognized for that?
I think they should, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I also don't want to put a burden on them to have to add more crap to a flyer, and so.
3 letters, TTC.
I mean, that's fair. I don't know.
We do like SGTTC?
Yeah.
I mean, typically when someone sponsors something or there's some kind of like grant or matching, there is
Some sort of-
recognition
yeah.
of some sort.
Some sort of contribution to that, yeah.
I mean, it can be 8-point font for all I care. You know what I mean? Like
That's fine.
Small asterisk.
Right.
Well, and
But-
so this may change if we get like a new logo, you know, you
Right.
somewhere incorporate the SGTTC or something in there to say, this is, you know, they can be part of that and
I
say,
mean,
here's what
you
you.
should have maybe that, just at least that main logo on there? The St. Genevieve, Missouri, you know?
Do that, yeah.
Would that be
Oh, yeah. That's
just that one, so it has,
That takes up longer than 3 letters.
that's true. That's prettier.
It is prettier. You're right. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I like the
One or
logo.
the other?
One or the other, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, they can list it, they can print it, or they can put a logo on
Mhm.
it. They can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to say City of St. Genevieve, because it's actually the Tourism Tax Commission that,
Yeah.
I want to give a little credit to what credit's due.
And what would they do on an audio, like a radio ad or something? Would they have to mention them on a radio ad?
I think that's probably a little too much.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Anything else? Yeah, I think so too.
I just think print is good.
Prints,
Social-
T-shirts.
Social media.
Yeah, social media.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a couple of changes, bring it back, we will have a quorum, we can approve
Isn't
it.
it?
It'll be probably ready then, once we vote on approval, then start putting these out to groups that wanna.
Yeah, we can, if I remember, we can send it out and say, here, hey, this is a new opportunity.
We want to do that, are we going to approve that by the next meeting then, hopefully?
Try.
Okay.
Yep. Unless the marketing plan is gonna take up a lot of time. I don't want to overburden the group, so.
Well, if you send this out to us to approve via email beforehand, it could just be a line item, and we can just make a motion second and move on. It doesn't have to have any discussion.
How much money do we have this, this will be for, this is TTC money,
Yes,
so we have till June?
you got through September.
Oh, through September.
Okay, because we'll start working on the next budget and improving on the budget in October.
How much will be in there for this year then, up to September? For this grant?
For this grant period, for this grant cycle, I think we had 5,000 or 6,000.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's all I got.
The gravel classic could potentially apply for this. And
Yes.
use it for some additional funding for the
Yeah.
gravel. These other two wouldn't be able. And the onesie pub crawl this weekend probably wouldn't be either, I guess, huh?
And isn't it the Queen's Ball?
It is this year, yes, it is. It's Queen's Ball, yes. Yes, ma'am.
This was printed before they changed it.
It's a leap year, Happy. It's always Queen's Ball. Are we good? Are we done?
I know, I mean, did you just walk out and go?
I've seen the ads.
Have you
Yeah.
seen it?
Yep.
So, I have a copy of it, of our flyer, and I understand that the Oris is having a blues band that night, which is new. They weren't going to have blues, but now they have. So that kind of goes along with ours. They could come eat at our place and then, or eat at your place or our place and then go to the blues music. So I think that's a nice event for the town.
That's actually the first night of winter music series. That's not a
That's-
blues concert.
Well, yeah, but that's who they're going to have.
Is it a blues band?
It's not who they're having. They're having Southern Gypsy.
Well, I heard they canceled.
No, they
It's a-
didn't.
Oh, they did?
I'm the organizer of that event.
Oh,
They did
then
not
I
cancel.
apologize.
Yeah.
But that's what I saw. I saw it passed out on a flyer today.
No.
I know one of them canceled, that they switched.
One of the Jackie Tyler band
That's
was
what it was.
replaced. That's
Oh,
that
I
is
am
the
so
16th
sorry.
of
I
that's
didn't-
the 16th
okay.
of February.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, the February 9th is not a blues. But they will have music at the Oris, but it is a ticketed event and it's sold out.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Darn.
Yep.
Anyways, I didn't know if you all knew about it or not.
I do have a question about the gravel classic. You said that they might extend it down to Maine on Washington to Jefferson. Are they talking about extending it down there?
So James Russo called me last year and said, we're upset that you didn't include us as part of the Gravel Classic and put the street barricades up at Jefferson.
Right.
So if we go ahead and block off Merchant to Jefferson, we're just gonna include it all the way up to Washington.
You will? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then is there a way, like, if as a business, I want to do something for the Gravel Classic, like, do I contact TrailNet if I'm gonna, like, offer something to their participants, or I don't know how to do that?
I think that's what we'll probably discuss next week,
Okay.
is how to get sponsors and get people involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, and then that's what they were kind of talking about on that first call was how do we get businesses, how do we, if a business is going to offer something, we need, flyers or we need some sort of marketing material, a month in advance, kind of like we're talking about. We need it from them, they need it from us. So, we've got to just be a good line of communication, and I'll try to be that this year. Might be a little shaky starting off. The next year I'll be even better, but I will try to be that point of communication for you guys. But yeah, so they are seeking that. So
Is
I'll
it
be
just a
kind of
one-day event, Saturday only, or do they have any events on Friday and the night before? Do you know?
Saturday only.
Saturday only, yeah. And they were trying to. I think was it Sunday last year or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did, Taste of St. Genevieve the night before, and then did the Gravel Classic the next day. Taste of St. Genevieve's not going to happen this year, so just do the Gravel Classic.
Well, and hopefully the idea for them is that if they do it on Saturday, people will stay the night and be walking around on Sunday. So.
We'll see.
So when you say there's a meeting next week,
It's just internal with the sponsors and because we have to help organize it. So we'll be the contact, or I think Kara was the contact last year through Audubon's, as trying to organize the different food vendors that were part of that and get in touch with people. So that'll be up to us to get in touch with you.
So you'll be contacting me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be contacting
You will, okay. I'll hold you to that.
Unless Happy wants to, yeah, right. That's what we do all day long. Yeah. Point at each other. Happy's it.
That'd be great. I'd love to have you guys plan something along with that. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, just to bring them down, and
Right, yeah.
we need to offer them something.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what they're looking for. So, once we get them the material, they'll help blast it to the participants.
So the race will still end at the same spot it did last year, up close to Audubon's parking lot. But we'll just make it, where, it's a street closure for the whole street. And if you do something else along with that, you'll probably pull people down there, or the family members that come with it. Last year there wasn't as many family members, but it was cold.
It was cold.
Cold
Brutal.
Saturday. Right, you guys sold out.
Well, we didn't make as much. We sold out because we didn't make as much because we knew it was going to be. We pre-made our burgers and all that stuff, so we were nervous. We thought we overmade with that. Wait and see. So, I didn't want to after last year's cold. And then the back isn't it a little later this year. When was it last year? It was around my birthday, like the 14th, 15th. 16th of my birthday. 16th.
No, it was early. It was like the first week of April.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's a little better. And there's music playing again, so.
And the Taste of St. John, not happening this year?
Not happening this year.
The foundation is not?
No, because they lost their director. Steve Potler was talking at another meeting I was at, and said that they weren't going to be official.
That's the reason why.
Somebody's not there that helped organize it, so we just don't feel like we don't have the people to do it. This is at Community Forum last Wednesday. Hoping they'll still sponsor the bike ride. They were a major sponsor last year.
Just so you, I don't know if you guys know that, I guess the art walk is the night before the gravel classic. So I guess that would be a good thing to tell them if they're coming in the night before. Do they come in the night before? I think some do, right? Or family members anyway.
So Trailnet will set up, we'll be here the night before, and they'll start getting stuff set up. Most of it's set up on Saturday morning. The riders come in, they can be there Friday. Some came in Saturday last year for the Sunday race, so yeah, we can get people in on Friday as well. But there's usually no printed materials ahead of time on the art wall, down the art wall. Are they going to do anything like that this year? Have you heard?
I don't know. I know I guess there's no really printed, right?
Jean puts a poster on her website. That's usually where I pick it up. Or I see something on the Sun Times.
I think it's just generally known that it's the first Friday of every month.
Something to help the local.
Yeah, and I'm still interested. Just said that Trailnet's going to help blast the marketing material to its members. But I don't know if they're doing that for okay.
You don't have a central contact on that? So yeah, it just seems like it helps. It just happens. Every Friday.
Anything else, ladies?
I'm sure I have time. So, when you say somebody's going to be keeping up on the website. Is that the person I contact, like, for, if I wanted to send, like, video clips of my events or anything? Or do I go through Aaron, or?
For Aaron, go through me, either one,
Okay.
we just, we need to get them. This one's a business in town. I said, this one's a business in town.
That's true. Well, while you're asking us questions, are you going to join the TTC or the TAC?
Yes.
Okay. We can count your commitment. So they're looking for a way.
Gravel it? Over there. Anybody wants to get up?
We're enjoying the heat.